Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. This is Mike, the Northwoods Beer Guy, and we are actually back in the studio at Jim's house. So Jim's here. We finally...
We got the crowd back there.
I know. It's crazy. You draw such a crowd. I'm still trying to figure out how that popularity happened. The last 3 weeks... My brother was gracious enough to fill in because you were trying to get your fields planted and such, and Mother Nature was not being the most kind all the time. So we finally got where you could be in the studio again.
Yes.
So how have things been going? Did you get everything in, or?
We have everything in, and it's actually, knock on wood, starting to actually sprout.
Nice.
So things are on the up and up.
They're progressing well.
Yes, knock on wood, because you never know. Just when you say it's progressing the way you want to, then we'll get a big deluge of rain and
wash
underwater.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that. So
everything's good. And I did actually have a helper this year.
Nice. And what did she charge you for that?
Well, I think we're still in negotiations.
Oh.
So that's the third person of our team today.
Well, at least I don't see any black eyes or any broken fingers or anything like that.
I didn't get the double bird.
There may have been a little bit of cussing, but...
Well, that happens. So as you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Julie this week. So, hey, welcome back. Thanks for saying you would be participating. She agreed to do this before she knew what we were drinking.
Right.
So I'll apologize right now.
Yeah.
I'll give it a whirl, though.
Now, she did ask one question before when we asked, and she said, this isn't barrel-aged, is it? No. It is not barrel-aged.
We could have changed it up. We could have. I had many of those in the cellar.
Maybe that's what she was wanting, and we just were too dense to figure that out.
I'll take my chances with this.
Oh, okay.
And all these are probably below ABV than what all the barrel-aged ones are.
Right. It's what I'm thinking. So, it's going to be interesting. We had talked about this for a while.
Yeah, we did.
That we were going to do a podcast on kind of the levels of IPA-ness, so to speak. So we're starting, we got 6 different IPAs.
Yep.
Well, not all IPAs, pale ale and so forth. So you've been snapping your paper there.
Oh, and I did find some questions for you, too.
Oh, okay.
To make sure that you're still on your A game.
Well, that's probably not the case. I've been out of practice for a while.
So these should be some easy questions for you.
Okay, good.
Slow pitch softball again.
There we go. I like that. I know how that goes. So...
What do you mean? That's a good thing?
Yeah. You say they're slow pitch, and then it's specifically what year, month, day, time, minute, hour, second did this? Yeah.
Well, I thought you knew the answer. That's why I asked. If I didn't think you knew the answer, I wouldn't ask you that question.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know most of our listeners don't believe that. They like to see you make me squirm. So.
Oh.
All right. Well, hey, I guess
should we start?
We can start.
Yeah.
So the first one that we have is from Oliphant Brewing, and this is their Snail Pale Ale.
Should we have our guest read what I found on it? Will you pour some?
You can if she's willing to, otherwise we can do it.
So what's the ABV on this one?
5%.
5%, okay.
So that's not bad.
I feel like I'm in first grade again, and the teacher's asking me to read the paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. It says, in collaboration with those saltwater sweeties over at Sea Salt Eatery in Minneapolis, this pale ale drinks like it would have over a decade ago. A little malty, a little bitter and hoppy, most of all delish. Snail on chums.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting. So this one, like I said, the reason I bought this is because it is a pale ale.
Okay.
Okay, it's not an American, it's not an India pale ale, it's just a pale ale.
Okay.
So this theoretically should be,
Well, and you know what's weird too? In all the research I did, none of them put their IBUs.
Really?
So I don't have any IBU info on.
I'll have to look on the can. Maybe it'll be on there.
It's just crazy because how many times have we said you can't? It's not an exact science,
Right?
Because it makes no sense because one will be 90 and you won't even taste them, and another
hop
says,
at all.
Yeah, it says that it's like 20, and you're like, wow, So we'll see.
So I don't know if we'll come up with our own IBU scale.
Yeah, we'll be way wrong, I'm guessing.
I'm probably not a good guess on that one.
So Oliphant, they are also known for, they do a lot of like our higher ABV stouts and things like that. We've done shows where, we had a bunch of theirs with that. So this will be interesting to see. They also do, they have sours, I think, as well.
I believe I like a lot of those Oliphant ones because don't they have ones, a lot of them that are like cookies and chocolate and things like that.
Yep.
So, I
exactly. So we have Snail Pale Ale from Oliphant.
No, there's an aroma.
You can smell there's some hop aroma, but it doesn't smell real bitey. I don't know if you wanted to call it that.
It's not it doesn't smell over the top, the aroma.
It's very like golden in color.
And it's kind of hazy. You can't see through it.
That's not too bad. No. Taste-wise, I mean, it's not like a really strong grapefruit flavor.
When the smell, I was like, oh boy, but it actually does not taste bad.
No.
I don't mind it.
What is the flavor?
Snails.
Is there a flavor that's supposed to be coming through?
I do get a little bit of like a hint of either a grapefruit or maybe a piney kind of a taste. You do get that, but it's not real.
Oh, really faint?
Yeah, it's faint. It's not like real strong like what we're normally possibly going to run into on some of these other ones.
And this doesn't dry out my mouth either. You know, like some of the really hoppy ones.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting.
Not bad. I mean,
kind of surprised a little bit.
What I'm afraid of is this might be our number one of the whole class.
Right now,
it could be.
Yeah.
It's number one for sure now.
It is number one, yes.
I don't mind it. Or as Stephanie would say, I don't hate it.
Yeah, see? There you go. I mean, it's one of those, would I sit and drink like a 6-pack of it? No. Now, we should go back and say this is a pint can.
Right.
Yep.
We do have 4 pint cans and 2 12-ounce cans.
Yes.
So some of them are proud of their IPAs and such.
And I guess the other part is this is a collaboration with Sea Salt Eatery. What did they bring to the table?
The snails.
The snails. Duh.
Did you say?
Boy, I tell you what, he's the research guy, and he sure didn't find out this whole snail connection.
Because I looked on the Sea Salt Eatery website, and all they have is their menu.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I wish they'd have said what it was.
Well, there's not a lot of info on the can.
No.
You know, it doesn't give you any of the flavors or anything it used. So
It's got a snail on it, though.
yeah, there is a snail. So that's the only reason why.
I guess that's a good question. What did they provide, or
Yeah, because
I don't know.
We don't get a flavor. I mean, and it looked like. I mean, I don't know what the flavor they were going for.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank there for you too, bud. So, well, score-wise, Julie, I guess we can start with you. What would you give that out of 0 to 5 by a tenth of a point?
And what's your median again?
2.5 is the average.
What is your median?
My average, I think, is 2.97 or something.
See, mine's like 2.43 or 2.2. Mine's way lower.
I'm pulling the BS card on that. I think yours is lower than that.
I get mine like honest.
See, no,
I don't overinflate mine.
That's not it at all. What it is he waits to see what the good beers are, and then that's the only ones he tries.
Oh,
see,
you think?
Yeah, that's it.
So then why is your score higher then?
Oh, because I've tried way more.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll let you believe that.
I'm going to go with a 2.7.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Mike?
I was going to go, I'll go a 2.7 as well, honestly, because I think it's better than average.
Right.
As far as I could drink one of those.
Right.
Like I said, I wouldn't drink a 6-pack of it or anything. That it would still kind of the taste would get to me after a while.
Right.
But it wasn't bad. I was surprised. I was kind of impressed by it.
So I'm not going to paint myself into a corner. I'm actually going to go 2.8.
You liked it even better than we did.
Because, I mean, I don't like many IPAs to begin with, but this one did not have a bad flavor, not a bad aftertaste. The smell wasn't overly bad. So, I mean, those are things, I guess it was just not a bad beer.
Yep.
I
agree with you. Like I said, it was kind of surprising.
Right.
I was impressed. So, yeah.
Oh, so since we finished that, should I bring up our first question?
Oh, sure. Why not? Might as well get the first one wrong.
So, since we're drinking
IPAs, well, pale ales and such.
Yep. When is National IPA Day? So, you got to think about it for a second.
Yeah, but see, now you know it because, you got that day off as a holiday. You got all those weird holidays off that most normal working folk don't get.
Yeah, but you always get the day after this one off, so.
Yeah.
Easy one.
Easy one.
I'm going to say July 3rd.
No. Hang on, Mike's going first.
Oh.
I'll just throw out there the day after Thanksgiving.
day after Thanksgiving, which would be November
Depending on
the 4th, Friday, and
yeah,
November.
depending on what day
Okay.
because Thanksgiving falls on different dates.
Right.
So was I correct?
Almost. All right. And Julie, now what is your answer now?
Well, I said July 3rd. I was going to say August because I'm thinking, for me, pale ales to me are,
here's the thing,
are
Julie.
best in the hot sun.
Julie,
Yes.
don't lie for them. Okay.
I actually said July 3rd.
The people know what goes on in this studio here.
So what is your
July 3rd,
No, what is the answer that you're supposed to say?
August 7th.
2025.
August 7th is okay.
So it's always the first Thursday in August.
Nice. Oh, okay. We should print off a calendar so we know what we're supposed to drink. Because there's National Stout Day, National.
Yeah.
I thought you already
Beer
had that
Day.
on the website.
No, I should.
Then we could do a little celebration,
Yeah,
a little
see?
thing on your
There you go.
Instagram or whatever.
Always, yeah. I agree. That sounds like.
So can you know a guy that could do that for us?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, you know a guy that knows a guy?
I know a guy that knows a guy that might know somebody, but we'll see.
All right. Well,
No, that's all right.
So that was not hard, was it?
See, I was going off of the fact that, you get that day off. Well, normally only time after something is the day after Thanksgiving because it's not going to be Christmas because I'm just trying to justify my answer.
All right. Well, I'll save the other ones. Let's try another beer and see what we got.
All right.
I was looking at it from a standpoint of the only time I would drink them is if it was super hot.
Which August then makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And humid.
I had no idea what the actual date for that was. I usually find out when you jump on social media and all of a sudden there's a post, happy National IPA Day. It's like, okay.
Okay.
And then you never think of what day it is.
Right.
So. All right. So the next one that we have is by Half Acre, and it is their Slow Melt. And this is an American Pale Ale.
All right. I found a little bit on this. Maybe Julie, give us the first couple just paragraphs on that.
All right. It says, Half Acre is the house of pale ale. We don't usher a new one into our everyday lineup very often. It must stand clear of Daisy Cutter and speak to where we see things going for those who seek easygoing, everyday, hoppy beer. Slow Melt is tropically bright, exceedingly crisp, and ultra clean. It's packed with the things we love about modern hop forward brewing, but airy enough to keep you light on your toes.
Now it's 5.8% ABV. When you were reading it, Julie, I looked at Jim and gave him the, here we go face, because when they start talking about tropically bright and all this and that.
Exceedingly crisp.
Yeah, because if you remember a couple weeks ago on the podcast with my brother, he had brought some beers from a Beer of the Month Club.
Okay.
And one of them was saying, tropical flavors of mango and this and that. And all I could taste was your normal IPA.
Yeah.
And I flat out asked because, he's a brewer. And I said, okay, are there hops that are going to give you a watermelon, or not a watermelon, like a mango, or I can't remember what other fruit it was they were talking. And he's like, if there is, I've never found it.
So like a citrus type.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I go, because you either get like that kind of a grapefruity or pine.
Yeah, or pine needles.
And he's like, yeah, that's basically it. And he goes, unless they add some kind of flavoring or something else to it, the hops aren't really going to do that. And I'm like, okay, that's what I thought. So it's a marketing thing.
I was like, hey, if we could figure out a way to grow hops that had that flavor, we could make a killing.
There you go. So we're going to crack into this. This is a small 12-ounce can. So
Small one.
So this one, it should, that's a lot clearer, like lighter color.
Well, it's definitely ultra clean.
There you go. See, and bright. Look at how bright the color is.
I feel like the can is darker than the beer is.
It kind of is, and it's got a butterfly and a candle, some sort of. It almost reminds me of some kind of a wizardy casting a spell type design on it.
I feel like it looks very hippie.
That's the one thing with a lot of these places. Boy, they got some interesting artwork.
Right.
Yeah. Some of them are amazing.
What is that?
There's
That aroma is weird.
It is a little. It's almost got a.
I don't know if you said that Half Acre Beer Company is out of Chicago.
No, and now, Jim, you did find an interesting tidbit.
Yeah, I put it on there for you.
On that, and you're right, Julie. It is out of Chicago, but it was founded in 2007, and they originally brewed beer in Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's like, I don't know. Because
So I'm wondering, because doesn't...
I think it was part of, It must have been
Sand
part
Creek?
of Sand Creek.
And they were, because they bottle a lot of different beers.
Correct. Yeah, they do a lot of the contract brewing and things like
Right.
that. So I'm guessing that's what it was.
Right.
Because Sand Creek has been around for quite a while.
Right. That brewery's
as
been
well.
there. They have changed hands, but.
And changed names, but it's never been Half Acre.
Right.
You
Correct.
know? Okay, let's get back to this aroma.
So what is this aroma?
That's a different aroma.
Smells
It's
like
almost
armpit perspiration.
No, I feel like it does have a fruity.
knock it off.
Doesn't it?
It has a different. At first, I was going to say
It is fruity.
It almost has. Yeah, it has like a
Pineapple-y or something.
There you go. It smells like pineapple, like canned pineapple.
It's not perspiration.
Well, one man's pineapple is another man's perspiration.
It's not bad.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it with the pineapple aroma. This one, it's a little bit drier on the finish. Just a touch. It's still not bad. Hop wise, it's not terrible. I don't think I could drink a can of that. Again, not a whole bunch of them, but it's not
What
bad.
is the style of this? Did you call
This
it?
is an American pale ale.
This is an American pale ale.
Yes.
Okay.
So typically they're not as hoppy. You know what I mean? As far as what we'll start getting into.
Yeah, definitely not hoppy.
Great.
No, but you're gonna wish that those were barrel aged before it's over.
I mean, the flavor is just not. I'm not clicking on the flavor.
I don't mind
It's
it.
not. I don't mind it.
Like you said, I could drink one, but would I drink two? Probably not.
Well, with most of these, it's it all depends. But I don't know. It's a lot more. I drink one of them for sure. But like you said, when you first mentioned the armpit smell, Jim, it's kind of funny because I was like, man, that smells weird, but I can't put my finger on it. But as soon as, and then it's like, oh, it's like you just opened up a can of the pineapple rings, and that's what you're smelling.
Yeah, I don't. If I opened up a can of pineapple rings just like this, I'd be
Throw it
away. Throwing it away. Be going to the garbage can.
See, you're just jumping to conclusions. It's probably good.
It's not. I don't think it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's
So,
okay.
Jim, why don't you go first on this one?
Oof, boy, I'm not. I can't. I'm trying to come up with something good. I'm gonna have to go with 2.2.
See,
it's not that good.
I think he's going to keep his scores somewhat high because he's saving them for the later ones to go way low, is what I'm thinking.
Oof, I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. There's something that's off on this. I don't know.
Right. Personally, I'm going to go with 2.5. I think it's average. I don't mind it. And when I think of it as pineapple aroma, it's better than armpit. Aroma. But like I said, it's a little bit drier on the finish, but I could drink it. And like I said, it's not terrible. I've had better ones, but it's okay.
I'm gonna do 2.6.
Jeez.
I don't mind it because I feel like what's coming next is really
You're going to save your scores too?
Is really gonna just knock my scores down there. So
Yeah. I was just looking to see if there's anything interesting more on the Half Acre Brewery. It just looks like they're doing their brewing the right way. Like I think we've talked about in the past where some breweries, they get in debt too big because they're buying too big of a building. But it looks like here they started small and just slowly worked their way up to get bigger.
Oh, okay.
Not, because I mean, what's the number one that we always talk about is
Tall grass. Yeah.
That may have gotten a little bit too big right away and got way too far in debt and couldn't.
And then next thing you know,
they're out of business.
Yeah.
So kudos to the Half Acre. I mean, and I did not look on the website how many different beers that they do have, but at least this one, I mean, is okay.
Yeah. It's like I said, we've had worse, we've had better. So now, did you have another question or should we jump into the next one?
We can go to the next one.
Okay.
I want to save a couple of these.
Okay.
I got some good ones that I know you're going to get right.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so...
Oh, did I give you a score on that first one? I think Julie got a plus 100.
oh jeez.
And Mike got a minus 1,000.
Oh Mike.
See, you get penalized a lot when he decides who's going to lose. So
He can't penalize me because I'm his
that's
farm
right.
helper.
His farm helper, and you do live in his house, and he lives in your house.
Yeah.
I almost messed that up, Jim.
Oh,
So you better...
you got kicked in the knee.
So it doesn't... She could not answer, and she's going to win.
Right.
So,
See?
perfect. That'll work great. Well, okay, folks, we're going to move out of the lower stuff, and now we're going to jump into the IPAs.
IPA.
Yep. So the first one that we have, and I've had this one before.
Okay. Full disclosure. And this is by Surly Brewing Company, and then this is their Furious IPA. So this is an India Pale Ale, so we're stepping up the hoppiness and things like that. This is 6.7% ABV. So we've went from 5 to 5.8 to 6.7. So
as you can see, it's been kind of a gradual increase as well in the ABV as well as the hoppiness.
All right. So what do we got there, Julie?
Okay, it says the beer that built Surly, aggressively hopped and citrusy, but with a chewy caramel backbone. Surly is called Surly due to our inability to find a good beer in town. Furious is one of the first beers we brewed to rectify that situation. The rest is history.
Now, Julie, if you remember, we were in the cities.
Yep, we did go to
Jim was
Surly.
not able to be there, but we went to Surly.
Yes,
and
very
it's-
awesome place.
It is a huge brewery. You have to go up there sometime. We got to go up there and do a podcast from there or something because they had so many beers, Jim, on tap that I hadn't even heard of.
Oh.
Haven't seen them in a can, bottle, anything like that. And they had barrel-aged stuff. They had all sorts of stuff. And
They have a beautiful outdoor area.
yeah,
It's just
they had
gorgeous.
fire pits and fire tables and these. I don't know what they were, some kind of heater thing that was blowing hot air when you're right up by the building.
Yep, on the patio, like a little pergola that blew heat out.
Yep.
Because we went, it was in the winter.
It was in the winter, yes.
And we could still stand outside.
Yep.
So-
And they had, inside it was full of like giant, almost like picnic table looking,
Yep.
like tables
like
and
big
bench
farmhouse
seats.
lawn tables.
Yeah, kind of like that. And it was, I mean, you can get food there. They had an upstairs and a downstairs, kind of like Toppling Goliath, but maybe even bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it was, I couldn't believe they had on the wall all the beers they had on tap. And it was just like, looking at it, you're like, oh my gosh, I've never even heard of half of these, you know?
Right.
And then, of course, across the parking lot, you could see the Sacred
Distillery.
Heart Distillery.
Oh.
So kind of interesting. But yeah, we have to make a trip up there sometime and check it out and, you know, do a podcast. Because like I said, it was just crazy.
It is a beautiful place.
Yeah. And it was really nice. And like you said, we were in the winter and we were all standing around a campfire and had our glasses out there drinking. And
Yep.
it was cool. Yeah. All right.
Well, the can is like very ominous.
Oh yes, it's got like flames coming off of.
Looks like it's in hell.
The fear. Well, you may be, you may not be. We'll find out here shortly.
Hopefully it doesn't taste like that.
Yeah.
Gonna have a little water to cleanse the palate there.
It did say it was a red amber.
Yes. So it is definitely more of an amber color than what the first ones were. It's kind of interesting, isn't it, how the first three have all been a different, you know, that first one was really kind of cloudy and such, and then the next one was very clear and bright, and then this one is red, you know, or kind of an amber. So I think that is another one of those kind of loosely, you can make it what you want. You know what I'm saying? There's all sorts of different things.
I don't get much aroma.
Yeah, the aroma is actually not.
Even the head is a little bit yellow though too.
A little bit, yeah. And you can smell a little bit of hop, but not much.
The ABVs were 6.7?
Yep, 6.7. Flavor-wise, now you're getting into a little bit more hop. You can taste it's not real dry though on the finish.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a different hoppy flavor than the one we had before.
Yes,
but like you said, not as dry. Actually, I
taste the
almost like
caramel?
that one better.
almost like which one better?
This,
the Furious.
Yes, that even though I know more hoppy.
I wonder if that caramel does something more to.
If it knocks down the hop, maybe a little. I don't know, because like
It doesn't taste sweet, but it's
kind of got a creamy type flavor to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that bitter, really super bitter.
Yeah, because I don't get like a grapefruit flavor. Mm-hmm. You know, you get the majority of the hop for me is on the finish. Yep. Like after you swallow it, then you get that little bit of you can tell you had hops.
Right, but it's not over the top.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's all very muted.
Yes.
All the flavors. That's why I'm wondering if that caramel does something.
You could be right.
Maybe.
You know, they could do something to it, but yeah, this I like this.
Yeah, I was a little scared, but I'm pleasantly surprised that this is not actually...
Just because it had mean artwork.
Yeah. Well, and IPA, because I am normally not a fan.
Right.
Well, then what are you thinking, Mike, since you get
I do like it. Like I said, I've had it before. I don't remember what I scored it before, but honestly, I'm going to go with a 3.0 on this one.
Wow.
I do like this because same thing, Julie. I think I can drink, I have drank multiple cans of it before. Okay. But again, it's not a lot of them because I get tired of the hop after a while.
Right. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I would get a gut rot if I drank too much of the IPA stuff, but I'm going to go 2.9. I don't mind this. Actually, I like this one better than the first two, which kind of is odd.
Kind of surprising because I figured the first two were going to be way smoother.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, oh, yeah, no problem. Right. You know? But then Yeah. So again, Oliphant and they are smaller breweries than Surly is. Yeah. We'd have to look to see, for sure how long they've all been around, but Surly, they are really known for darkness and then in their IPAs. They do a good job. So Jim, what do you think?
Well, it's, again, not a single flavor sticks out. Mm-hmm. So that's, the hard part. Even the citrusy part is not really citrusy, but it's not bad, but it is smoother. I might be breaking my plane here, but I'm going to have to say a 2.9 as well. I don't know what's going on.
Stop the presses.
I think I must be drunk because I could have swore he said a 2.9 on an IPA.
He did. I was a witness.
A good thing I'm sitting down. And now he's eating a cracker and looking like it was the worst thing he ever had.
You need a...
No. I do have a question, though.
Okay.
We're talking about IPAs.
Yep.
And which brewery, it wasn't one of these, produced the first IPA to be exported to India?
Oh, jeez. That's way back when.
Is it a brewery in the United States?
Mike can answer that.
No.
Well, then how would we know?
Because it's such a famous one.
It's still around.
Heineken.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's a dark beer.
That's from Germany.
Oh, it's not the United States.
If you've listened to our podcast, I've told a story about the lady that said Heineken was a dark beer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
which brewery.
Stella. I don't know.
She's just shouting out names like crazy.
I don't know.
And I know I've known it, and I'm totally...
I know, that's what we talked about it before. So I thought you had it.
Dos Equis.
She's hammered drunk already.
That's from Mexico.
Is it out of Britain or I can't remember? It's out of Britain. I remember that.
Mike, your head's gonna crack open.
It's going to.
You're thinking so hard.
I don't remember. I'm not even gonna throw out an answer. I don't know, dude. I can't remember.
So after losing their Russian markets, brewers in Burton, England, quickly began brewing for export to India. One of the first IPAs to be brewed and exported to India was by George Hodgson's Bow Brewery.
Okay. And the only reason I remember that is because I didn't even recognize the name then, and I still don't recognize the name. But
the brewery was 2 miles from the East India Docks, which made it convenient for traders.
Yep, exactly. I remember that part too, but I couldn't remember the name of it. I knew it was because I'm sitting here going, okay, it wasn't Samuel Smith. It wasn't, I knew it was the guy's
Julie
name.
got it almost right, so she got 200 points.
And since I didn't say an answer,
you got minus 2,000.
Nice.
Well, was caught off I didn't realize that India would be are they consumers of IPA or
there's not a question coming up on that. So
we'll say that, but there's a reason that they did it, but we'll get into that.
Okay, because I'm like, I just didn't find India as a big.
So it actually, that was actually a British Commonwealth.
Right. That's way back when.
So going there all the time.
Yep.
Gotcha. Oh, you learn something new every day.
Exactly.
All right. So what do we got?
All right.
Coming up.
Well, now this one is an interesting label on it. It's got like a great white shark chasing a puffer fish is what it looks like. Mm-hmm. And this is by Tox Brewing.
Yes.
And I don't even know how to pronounce this. Erythron. And this, now we're going to a double dry hopped India Pale Ale. So this is a double pale ale.
8.6.
8.6. So once again, we bumped up the ABV. Mm-hmm. And I am guessing we're bumping up the hop as well. I have never had this beer. I've never even heard of this brewery before. Right. So this will be interesting.
So it says there's not much. We brewed the special scaled up Fugu variant.
Okay, now you know what fugu is.
I've heard of something similar.
Fugu is what the name of it's the puffer fish. In Japan, it's called fugu, and that's where if they don't prepare it right, you could die because it's poisonous. So that's
like on John Wick. Yeah. Remember when she ate the
John Wick, or I was thinking I've seen it. I think on Andrew Zimmer, the guy that would eat like crazy stuff.
Oh yeah,
that stuff. But yeah, it's like a number of people each year get sick from it because it's not prepared correctly. And that's the name of it there is fugu.
If one of us drops over and dies tonight, it's because the fugu wasn't prepared correctly.
Well, remember, because I looked on, so all their beers are a fugu variant name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right. So this one is the Erythron. Uh-huh. And it was in celebration of our annual Retox party.
Their detox party?
Retox.
Oh, so they all got re-drunk.
Apparently.
Yes. Nice.
12% beer project.
Okay.
It's a double IPA, dry hopped with Citra, Riwaka, Mosaic, and El Dorado hops.
Okay. Now remember, dry hopping is more so, if I remember what my brother said, it's more so for the aroma
Okay.
than Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is what it was if it's dry hopped.
And I got a little more after we talk about
Is Tox Brewing, it said it was, well, I guess, brewed and packaged by 12% North Haven, Connecticut for Tox Brewing. But I don't know where Tox Brewing is out of.
I got that too.
Oh, you got that too? Oh,
Now,
okay.
this is kind of a little bit similar to that first one in color.
The can
orange
says
juice.
dangerously drinkable.
Oh.
We shall see.
Let's see how dangerously drinkable it is. That's not
That's
bad.
weird.
I think that's pretty smooth.
I was
What's that
expecting a lot worse.
Yeah.
And that is honestly not bad.
What's that initial, when it touches
I
your
get
tongue?
almost
Like fruity. Like
yeah.
Is that what that is?
explosion
I
of-
get almost like it's not grapefruit, but almost like an orange kind of flavor.
Maybe, yeah.
But I mean, your tongue feels something
Yeah.
before you get the taste.
That's the fugu. It's the poison.
Is that the poison going
See,
in?
they got the poison out. They got just enough in to numb your tongue.
See, I don't know if it's like a fruity, like it's sweeter when you
There's a sweetness,
The
yeah.
first taste of
No.
it.
That's really weird.
I am freaking out here because
that
so
is
far
not-
this is my best.
I don't mind this at all.
I don't either.
So, do we want to talk about the brewery or the
Well, yeah,
name of the fish?
Well, whichever you'd like to do.
All right. So,
Because we'll do both of them.
Okay.
Because this is, I can stand drinking this one. So.
all right. So you can pour some more if you
Yeah.
want. So it says Tox Brewing Company is located in New London, Connecticut. Was founded by lifelong friends Dane Lasky and Michael Zaccaro in 2019. So
Okay.
relatively new.
New, yeah.
The name Tox reflects Lansky's background in toxology and a fascination with poisons, antidotes, and the healing power of plants.
Okay.
They see Tox Brewing as a blend of craft, science, and nature, not just beer.
Wow.
So
So
that was
hopefully they do well.
Yes.
So he doesn't like put something in there. You know?
He might just do it in your can.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, this is wild. And I picked this one up at the beer shop.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Really?
I picked actually the Snail Pale and the slow
Melt?
melt. I picked those up as well at the beer shop because I knew we were going to do this, and I kept looking. I'm like, oh, they got, I looked on Untappd, and they got some, doubles and quad and all that, and then triple. So I'm like, I got to go get them so we have them.
I'm going to give you just a little.
That is pretty crazy.
The can is kind of like a little bit scary. The shark looks super
Yeah.
angry, and the puffer fish looks very scared.
That's one of those that I got to
Do
try.
you notice though, like in the background, there's like, I don't know if it's like, if this is like the United States, but look at like the buildings that are supposedly underwater in the background.
Is it Atlantis?
It's probably supposed to be Atlantis, but yeah, it is kind of interesting, Jill,
Yeah.
that you stay there. I never.
It's
And
kinda
then
cool.
they got like a dude here that looks like a Roman.
Oh,
You see what
maybe
I'm saying? Like, there's, like,
it's probably
statue kinda guy.
Atlantis.
Oh, isn't that?
It's probably
who's
Atlantis.
King
Yeah.
Atlantis or King,
Yeah, it's
what's his name? Morpheus?
no.
That was from.
What was
That was not
had his trident?
Aquaman.
Who's his dad? Aquaman's dad, right?
Yeah,
I'm really good at that game where you just shout out.
you just shout stuff out.
Yeah.
Something's gonna hit the wall and stick.
Yep.
All right, so here I got a little more. So
Okay.
Erythron is a genus of the pufferfish family, which we already talked about, found in warm water parts of the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Ocean. These species are sometimes kept in aquaria. The largest species, which can reach 3.9 feet in length.
Oof.
Wow.
And what is weird is I had a picture when I looked on Wikipedia, and the picture of the fish on here looks the same as it is on the.
That's crazy. Yeah,
His eyes are sticking out a little bit more with the big shark behind
that's
him.
because the shark's chasing him.
He's but I wonder what would happen if the shark probably wouldn't touch him because wouldn't it put poison in the shark?
You would think.
So I'm sure they're not.
See that shark? He's not very bright.
Yeah.
He don't know what he's doing.
So what are you thinking on a score there?
I like this one.
You like it?
Yeah,
I thought you liked the last
I
one.
like
I
this
do.
too.
I do, but I'm going to go like a 3.2 on this one.
Wow.
I really like this. I mean, it surprised me,
Yes, it for sure it did me too.
So, I mean, hop-wise, it's not bad at all. And it does have a sweetness, like Julie said. And I don't know what it's from. They didn't really give us that detail, but that's good. I could drink a can, and that's a pint can.
And it's a big can.
Yeah, I could drink that.
Julie, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go actually a 3.0. so far. I'm shocked to say this is my favorite one so far.
I mean, and what is weird, and I don't know if you guys are...
Hang on, I got some dirt in my eye.
Are you going to cry, Mike?
I think so. It's just, it's always so nice to see like your young ones
Doubters.
when they start to...
The doubters.
Or, okay, I'll say it that way. The ones that were like, ugh, when they start going, man, this isn't too bad.
My box of beer tasting is expanding.
It's expanding.
Yes, it is
Awesome.
expanding.
We're doing our job, Jim. We're doing our job.
You know, what is weird is however and whatever they used that initial, like when you pour it on your cup into your mouth, that initial flavor, even now after like 2 or 3 sips,
It's still there.
it's still, you after that drink, you still get that flavor on your tongue, which whatever they're doing, you would think a lot of other beer brewmasters would do the same thing. Because, I mean, that really does something to the beer.
It's like bright and sunny and...
They might not have a guy that can prepare fugu to put in the brew kettles, though.
That's true. I mean,
Maybe
is it an ancient Chinese secret?
ancient Chinese
It could
secret.
be. I don't know.
But that is good. So, I mean, I'm right up there with you.
I'm surprised.
I'm going to go with
impressed.
3.1.
I'm surprised.
OMG. Jim's giving an IPA a 3.1.
It's something with that on the tongue, the little flavor. I mean, it's that you don't. I don't think I've ever had a beer that's done that with the flavor.
Yeah.
On an IPA.
It is.
No, any beer. I would
Honestly,
say any
Jim,
beer.
I think this is probably the first beer I've ever had from this brewery.
Oh, I think for sure Tox.
I've never heard of them before, and you know, it scared me a little bit when I first picked it because you don't know,
Right.
But man, that's a
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the
surprising
beer
one.
shop for getting
Yeah.
something like that. That
It-
really.
Like to see what other kinds of beers they make.
Yep, we'll have to check them
look
out
that up.
online and see what else they have. Hopefully, the beer shop will get some of their other stuff in too. I'll have to let them know that. Yeah, that was really good. I was impressed.
I mean, have you seen what's going on here? Every one of the scores for each of the beers has gotten
it's been
higher.
getting better and
Which
better.
is crazy.
So we'll see how it keeps going.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this next one.
I'm
Well-
like, the name itself is kind of a little frightening in itself, but
did you have a question before, or do you want to save it for after the next one? Or
All right, well, since you're so jumpy, let's get right into it.
way to go, Mike.
So,
I brought it on myself. I'm sorry.
we just talked about George Hodgson's Bow Brewery, right?
Yep.
What was his original name of that beer? You know, because it wasn't called an IPA to start with. What was the name of that beer?
We're gonna say a hoppy ale.
No, come on. Remember, they're not doing that.
How about the stuff that we send to somebody else because we wouldn't drink it?
Okay, you're close.
Kind of long for on a can, but you know.
Well, back then they didn't really have label, limitations and stuff.
All right, and Julie, what is your guess?
October Ale.
Oh, look at that. She got it right. Snap right out of the...
You know what's
Thin
going to be
air.
funny is, ladies and gentlemen, at some point when they're standing at the pearly gates and St. Peter comes out and he goes, I saw how you totally, robbed Mike on all those questions. How do you justify that?
I ask for forgiveness when we're done here.
No, I was more talking to Jim.
So
He had no answer.
So let's see here. So Julie got it right. That's plus 500.
Minus 5,000, I'm
Minus
sure.
5,000. Wow. Mike,
All right.
I thought these were some easy ones for you here.
Not so much. So October Ale is what they call it?
Yep. Before he changed the name.
Huh.
When they started sending it.
He probably had to change it because Germany said, that doesn't taste anything like our Oktoberfest type stuff.
Right.
So, okay, kiddos. Well,
How many we got left?
we got two more IPAs. So we went
right.
through a pale ale, an APA, an IPA, a double. So now the next one is a
Triple.
triple IPA.
Oh, not triple.
Nope, triple.
Triple.
And this one, the name is this is by Hoof Hearted Brewing
From Ohio.
from Ohio. Okay.
Yep. They had a couple breweries in Ohio.
Okay.
So I'm not sure which one this one may.
This is their Konkey Dong. Yes, you heard me right. Konkey Dong. 4-Up Evolution Aquatic Ape Theory. Triple IPA brewed with Citra, Nectaron, Eldorado, and Mosaic hops. 9.5% ABV. Now, here's one thing you will probably enjoy.
Okay.
They say this should be served at 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
And that's probably pretty close to that.
This may be a slightly warmer, but it's not much warmer than that. But this is the first can that has said what temperature you should serve this at.
And I found one sentence on their website.
Well, first, look at the artwork. It's like,
Do you see what Donkey Kong is riding?
is it the dolphin?
A brown dolphin.
Okay.
I'm not sure where those are located.
Well,
Well,
well.
the Kong guy looks a little.
no, that's not his
Sketchy.
name. We can't say that it's trademarked. That's not his name.
Oh, Kong guy,
Yeah, what's his real name?
Konkey.
Dong guy.
Dong guy.
Mr. Dong to you.
I feel like awkward saying dong.
I know. It's like
It's Mr.
this is a
Dong.
PG show, and
Yeah.
we have to say this.
Mr. Dong looks angry in a lot of those photos, and
Kind of.
he almost looks like a bank robber in that one.
Kind of.
So it said, we took Konkey Dong,
Well,
fattened him up a bit, and doubled the dry hop for a whopping 8.5 pounds of hops per barrel.
Wow.
yowza.
Because did you explain that we did find what Konkey Dong, there is a Konkey Dong.
They have just and that was a normal was that a double IPA or was it a single IPA? Single. And then they have this one, which is their triple.
Right. I didn't realize because on the front of the can, there's no words.
No, there's none whatsoever.
So when I typed it into Mr. Google, only Konkey Dong came up.
Okay.
Not the Konkey Dong for
evolution.
aquatic ape theory.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was so much.
And I'm sure they had to go with Konkey Dong because the other variation is trademarked, I'm sure.
Oh, is it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, it's very cloudy.
Boy, that's almost
Hazy. Like for these, I call them a little hazy.
At first, I was going to say it almost had a coconut aroma, but it's not really that. It's like not a whole lot of aroma at all.
Very
Fruity.
minimal.
Well, here goes.
There's not much flavor to that.
There's something.
And I like it because I feel like it's not so like, ugh.
And it's a triple.
This is a triple, and I am just.
The one, honest to God, the first one we had, I feel like was more IPA than this one.
And this is 9.5 ABV.
9.5 ABV.
It does not taste like 9.5.
No, this is crazy.
I like this.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's not coconut. It's
Yeah, the first one I had was like coconut, but it's not. But I don't know what it is. It's a like you said, Jim. It's a weird.
it's like
I
pineapple
can't pin it down.
It's not grapefruit. It's like
No, it's sure not a grapefruit.
I mean, and it's not hoppy. I don't know. There's not a.
very little. And even on the finish, I mean, there's a little dryness, but not bad at all, really.
I mean, this is really.
just
my
say
gosh,
it. Just say it. It's pretty decent.
it is.
No, I mean, I'm
It's
trying
not
to.
terrible.
It's not. I mean, again, none of the flavors of these first five stand out. There's not like a flavor that's like,
right.
either, whether it's citrus or whatever. It's not. That Tox Brewing really did something with their flavor in the front end.
Yep.
This one,
See, I was expecting it. The ABV has been going up. But I was expecting like the amount of hop.
Yeah,
it was
to
going
be,
to
like,
get
super
stronger
strong.
and stronger and stronger. So these guys so far, like I said, are doing something. 'Cause
right? I mean,
it's good.
even for
Yeah.
us, maybe that's why they didn't put the IBU stuff on there because the IBU thing for us. I mean, I don't think we haven't had it over 30 yet, have we? And
the way we look at it,
Right.
no.
there's nothing.
There's
really-
probably this is way up there. No, it's not.
It's
you know?
not.
And
That might be scaring people away. I wonder if that's why.
It could be. I think you might be right, Jim. Because when
I'm just
talked to
taking a guess. I don't know.
when I talked to my brother on the podcast about it, because I told him our struggles with it, because we're like, I'm like,
gonna scare people
Our
away.
biggest thing is you're expecting it to be super hoppy, and a lot of them aren't. The higher ones aren't that bad,
Right.
And he was like, yeah, he said, yeah, it's not. The thing that they don't take into account is the hop, the IBUs. They get that rating off of the hops themselves.
Oh,
They don't. Then you have to factor out for your mash bill, like your grains and all that, because that'll knock it down. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you may start with a hop, whatever that's high, but then it gets knocked down. And I'm like, well, that's crazy because they don't, they always put that big number to,
But I would be more apt to use your own personal taste.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you can taste right away. I mean, there's not hops there's hops in it, but I mean, not the bitter or the grapefruit.
Not what I was expecting.
Because it says international bitterness units. So to me, that's what I'd be looking for in a flavor. And these aren't these. These
haven't
first
been-
five haven't been bitter.
well,
No.
maybe like whatever an El Dorado and a Mosaic. hop
They're
is.
different strains of hops. Yep.
Maybe those are not so strong flavor.
I do know that like Mosaic, El Dorado. What was the first one that was on there?
I didn't. Must have been on the can.
It was on the can, yeah. Let me, Citra. Because Citra is used a lot. El Dorado is a lot. Mosaic is a lot. Whatever that Nocturnal or whatever, that one I haven't heard much about, but yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I agree.
So Jim, what are you going to give it? You go first this one.
Well, I don't know. I'm struggling.
Okay.
So here's where I'm struggling. So at the very first couple of sips was not bad, but as I got more and more to it, it got more and more dry. My mouth got more and more dry, and some of the bitterness started to come through as I went down in my glass, which is not a bad thing, and it wasn't like horrendously bad, but it was still, it did get more and more hoppy. So I'm going to put it at a 2.7. I'm going to put it a little bit below that very first. I like that first one. I'm going to put it a little bit below that one.
Okay. Julie, what do you think?
I am going to go a 2.8. I agree with Jim. At first I was like, oh, wow, this isn't bad. But like the last couple of drinks to me got bitter.
Okay.
So
I was going to go a 2.9. I do like it. I thought it was better than I was expecting. I'm just going to flat out be honest with you. I thought it was going to be terrible. Right. To be honest with you.
Me too.
Because I thought, okay, with the name like that, it's probably going to be, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's in a pint can. Would I drink multiple? No. Because I know I keep saying this, but I would, on all of these, after, especially the pint cans, after one, I'd be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the Furious, I could drink a couple 12-ounce cans of that, but then I'd be good.
Yeah. For the day.
For the day, yeah. It's fine, and then go to something else.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. Well, we got one more IPA left.
And I got 2 more questions.
Awesome. All right. Well.
All right. So we're talking IPAs, and we're talking George Hodgson's Bow Brewery, right?
Yep.
And we got the original name, and we got where he was located. So why was this drink specifically designed to be exported to India? I think Julie had asked us that question before.
And I know the answer to that one, but do you want to guess, Julie?
I have no idea.
Why don't you guess, and we'll see what... here we go.
Take a big wild guess.
They put more hops in it because when it's transported, so it stayed good longer or fresh, or whatever you want to say.
It was too hot to brew it there.
Yeah.
In India.
You didn't have the right answer.
What? No, because that's why they made it hoppy, because so on the transport on the ships over, it lasted longer.
Well, you're partially right, Mike. It says...
I want credit for that.
It was too hot to brew in the subcontinent, and because it matured en route, a journey of 4 to 6 months.
See,
grasshopper. See, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that Julie didn't have she asked earlier, and then all of a sudden she had this great big long explanation for it.
Yeah.
Isn't that just ironic?
She's so smart.
As a certain singer would say, isn't that ironic?
Smartphones are your friend.
No. Husbands that do the research are your friends.
So Julie got that was a good long. That was actually 3 parts to it too.
Hey, I get partial credit.
Mike does get points.
So Julie got a plus 1,000, and we're going to give Mike plus 1.
Poor Mike.
You got it right, so I give you credit.
Thank you. At least I got something as a plus 1.
Right. See,
good.
That's good.
I'm proud. We're done. I'm good. I don't have to do any more.
You gonna drop the mic?
No, I'm not going to drop the mic.
Okay. All right, so what do we got next?
Well, so we've done all the way up to a triple, so we might as well finish it out with a quadruple IPA.
So, not to cut you off, but all 3 of us have had a beer from
from this brewery. Yes. Yep. Because they do have other styles and things like that, but yeah, we have had because the beer shop has got beers from here before.
Oh, have they?
Yes. And actually, that's where I got this one.
From the beer shop?
From the beer shop.
Okay, yep, go ahead.
And this is their out-of-pocket quadruple IPA from Black Stack Brewing.
Yes.
And it is a 12% ABV.
All right, and Julie, what do we have there?
It says, brewed with our buds from, is it Lua?
Lua
Brewing down in Des Moines with...
And I've been there. Susie and I have been there.
And then it says...
And Julie's been there and Jim's been there.
You've been there too?
We're all there together.
That's right.
Yeah, money can
I totally spaced off that you were there with us.
That's why I was trying to lead it in at the beginning there.
Okay, go ahead, Julie. I'm sorry.
Our hand-selected mosaic and strata in completely over-the-line quantities. Words to live by. It's always better to be in the pocket than out of it. Act accordingly.
So now... Did they say what? Because remember, our knock on Lua or whatever was that their beers at their brewery were more like they were brewed for the masses, like the college kids. Remember, there wasn't
was that
a lot
the Lua
of flavor.
one, or was that one of the last ones you went to?
No,
where they had no.
No, they were that very first one we went to in Des Moines.
That was the first one.
Where it was, it was across from whatever that office building was, and then that other brewery's across the parking lot. Remember,
right?
So this
Lua was the first one,
right? Remember, and there it was, and again, they were a very nice brewery, and the people were nice.
Yeah.
The food was good,
Yeah.
but it just seemed like the flavors were kind of muted.
Right.
Remember, that was our big knock, you and I.
I wonder, we didn't go to Black Stack, though, did we?
No.
So-
Because is Black Stack down there too?
They must be, I would think, right?
Let
Does
me
it say-
check on my phone here. Is it Black Stack Brewing?
Yeah.
One word.
I'm
All right,
trying
well-
to see if it says. Oh, here.
Black Stack Brewing.
No, they're out of. It's right.
St. Paul.
Yep, St. Paul. And I have not been to that.
You haven't been to
either.
that one either?
No, St. Paul.
All right,
Minnesota.
well, let's see what we
So
got.
this is their out of pocket quadruple IPA.
right.
And once again, this is in a pint can,
Bigger can.
bigger can.
And this says about this Black Stack Brewing, family-run craft tap room and events venue pouring stouts, lagers, and IPAs, and grub from food trucks.
Well, there you go.
So
Now, the one thing I'm
So I
noticing.
think your Uncle Larry's going to like this, too.
Why is that?
So it says, the history of the building that they're at, the American Can Building dates back to 1889. Beginning in 1902, it was a canning factory that churned out billions of tin cans for Hormel Foods.
Oh, but my Uncle Larry doesn't work for Hormel.
Swift and Company, Armour and Company, for well-known brands like Spam.
Yeah, no, he didn't have anything to do with that.
I thought he used to work there.
No,
You only
Nope.
talked about that.
no. We had a beer.
Or is he pulling my leg?
No, he never worked there. He works at,
Huh.
no, he works in Albert Lee at a different place.
yeah,
So he did have, he did get a beer that was, tasted like Hormel.
Chili.
Well, it was like the chili cheese dip.
ugh,
God awful. It's tasted like liquid chili cheese dip. Well,
yuck.
yeah.
was
You
not
were,
good?
remember were you with us when we were in, no, yeah, when we went to the brewery in Missouri, when they had that the guy was so impressed with his salsa beer, remember?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it looked like this, like yellow beer, and it tasted like salsa.
Yeah.
Remember, our reaction was like, everybody's like, ugh. That was the same kind of reaction we had to the chili cheese beer. It was just like,
I feel like beer should not taste like food.
no,
Like,
it was
not
yeah,
like chips
it was-
or burgers or
It was
chili.
that one
or-
was extremely bad.
With the aroma, I can't pick the aroma out of that one.
grapefruity.
Now, I will give them this. I don't think it tastes like 12%.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, that part
it's a little sweeter.
is a little bit of
I think
sweetness
it's
to
like
it.
tastes like oranges. Actually, more orangey.
Kind of. I wonder if they do that to knock the alcohol percentage down a little bit. I don't know.
No, I mean maybe the alcohol flavor. Maybe it tastes a little bit too alcoholish. You know,
I
like
don't know.
Avery, like it's way.
Right, but I don't. Yeah, they did something to try and kind of cover
Yeah.
that up a little bit. Is what
so
I'm
that
wondering.
sweetness almost is about all you taste now.
Right. I would expect it to be a lot more hoppy, bitter than it is, being it's a
A quadruple.
quadruple. But
Yep, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, I don't know.
Would I drink a can? I don't know if I. It's a 16-ounce can, 12%. That's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's not bad though.
No, I mean it's not bad, but it's like it's got a little touch of sweetness, which
Yep.
I don't think we've had an IPA that's been sweet.
No.
Have we? I mean, it's
No, not.
yeah,
not to
there
this-
was the one that was
No, I
like
mean,
kind
not-
of exploded
not just
on your
today.
tongue. One.
Yeah,
overall.
this one. The
not just today's.
oh yeah, overall. Yeah.
Right, I'm like like you mentioned before, they're doing something to the beer because it is at 12%.
Right.
So I don't know.
I
why.
don't know. Maybe they're like going, "Hey, you guys, like we need to like make this a little sweeter because it's so dang dry that
It could be. Who knows?
you know, like
I
you
don't.
know, God love people that love that stuff. I don't get it, but
Listen, I don't have a dryness on the finish though.
No.
Even so, I don't know. And now this is the only quadruple I've had.
Is it? Okay.
You know, so I have not had many of. I haven't seen many of them. You know,
Right.
So it'd be interesting to try and find another one just to see. Okay, is that kind of how this category is going to be, or is it just this one? You know, because there may be another one that is just like wow. You know, so I don't know.
All right, well, who's going to go first on this one?
oofta.
I can go first. Let's see. I'm going to go
Can we not use the same score we've had before?
correct.
Oh,
I'm going to go with 2.8. I do like it, but again, like I said, I don't know if I'd drink a whole pint can of it myself, but it's okay. For a quadruple, I was expecting a lot more hop, you know. I was expecting to where Jim was going to fall off of his chair kind of thing. And,
Or make that funny face he makes. Or
forget all about the questions and all that kind of thing, you know.
But I mean, so what was weird is I took like a big swig of it, and it really, the bitterness really came through. It came through a lot more than
just a sip.
Interesting. Well, do you remember, now I know this is going back a few podcasts, Jim, but remember the one beer when we tasted it, you sipped it, it had that one, because was it a barrel aged?
It was a wine one, wasn't it?
Yes, because remember it had that a flavor of something. Then when you chugged it, like drank a bunch of it, then you got the whole other barrel.
Right.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. Yeah, I can see where you could get more bitterness on this one.
Julie, what are you thinking?
I will go a 2.5. Not a huge
You're
fan.
not a big fan of this one?
It's not horrible, but compared to the other ones, I'm not.
I'm impressed though, Julie, because your lowest one is what, 2.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking, oh boy,
Yeah.
I'm going to be the only one in the twos on any of these. And you both of you so far. We'll see what Jim does, but it's been very, very pleasant for me to see these scores.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2.6.
Nice.
I'm not sold on it.
Yep.
It's got a little, there's something, I can't pick it out. It's just a little bit off.
Yep.
So I don't know.
It does have a kind of a weirdness to it.
Yes.
Like the aftertaste is funky.
Yeah. The more I've been sitting here, it does have a weird
like the
linger to it a little bit.
Yes.
It stays in your throat for a little bit longer than
Yes.
what's normal.
Agreed.
So any breweries out there, if you have quadruples, we'd like to try them. Or until we can get the first quintuple.
That kind of frightens me. I'm pleasantly surprised, though. I was expecting a lot worse than what we had today.
I agree.
Because I'm not a huge IPA fan,
Yep.
but
I
these
agree
were
with
actually not bad.
So I'll ask the last question.
Okay.
Then I was thinking maybe we should wrap up
Yep.
our summary of these, and then we got some special beers at the end.
Yeah, we do have a couple of them that are totally not IPAs that we're going to try because they just sound good.
Right.
So,
So my
Because we
question
can.
is,
yeah, because we can. We can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
when did the term IPA or India Pale Ale start? It's an easy question.
It's easy when you got the answer in front of you.
Because remember we talked about when Britain lost the Russian markets.
Right.
So what year did that happen?
Oh, criminy. Well, you're the history major.
I know what the answer is. It's
Well,
easy.
you got it on the paper right in front of you.
Okay, wait. And here's the bonus part to the question.
You see, now he's trying to backtrack a little bit.
And
All
the
right.
bonus part of the question is, which country actually started using the word IPA? So
Oh, yeah, that makes it way easier.
right. So the year and the country.
Why did they lose the Russian market so that...
I'm going to say 1862 and India.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to say 1904, and I'm going to say that Germany used it.
All right. So here we go. You guys are really both close.
Yeah, we're both way off.
We're way off.
The name IPA was not coined in England nor India.
Nice. So I'm not there.
The first record of the name actually comes to us from an 1829 newspaper ad in Australia,
Really?
hawking the wares of a merchant, A.B. Stark. And included on one of the offers, which I saw the piece of paper because it was actually had a picture of it.
Yeah.
It included an offer, various liquors and textiles are tailors in East India Pale Ale. It was actually listed as one of the things that was for sale.
That's weird. In
Interesting.
Australia, huh?
Yeah, so Julie got that one right. So she
Well,
gets
because I was
plus-
in the 1800s.
Yeah, but she said India.
Yeah.
No, we don't worry about that. So plus the
Wow.
and Mike, he didn't use England nor India, so we're going to give you a point for that.
Nice.
So it looks like Julie may have won. She may have come out on top.
She might have slightly come out
Yeah.
in front of me. Yeah.
Yes.
Good job, Julie.
All right,
So now what that means is you have to finish all the IPA beers that are left.
No.
so I happen to be at one of our local liquor stores. There, I was trying to come up the beer stores, and I just always happen to walk through just to check. And these two caught my eye because we had beers from these breweries before, and they were really good. Their flavor was really, like we always say, if it says it on the
It's
can,
on the can. It should be in the can.
should be in the can.
Yep.
And these are some of the very fruity ones that we've had before, which were really good. So I don't know if you want to talk about these two in general, but I mean, I thought they were really good. But I thought,
Oh, yeah. Julie's thinking we should probably have
Have
new
new
glasses for
glasses.
these.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I feel like
Do we want to wrap up the IPAs first?
Yes, there we go. Yep, I'm sorry.
Nope, not a problem. So overall, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. Really, we didn't have an IPA. I thought that was terrible. Or
I agree.
A pale ale, we'll say that. You know,
That was like, oh my God, I can't drink
It was
this.
super hoppy.
Yeah,
Right.
we did not have one of those.
honestly, the ones that stood out to me, honestly, anybody could drink any of these.
Yep.
I think because they're very good examples, and I'd love to try another quadruple or some other stuff from Tox Brewing for sure, just to see.
Absolutely.
But the ones that were pleasantly surprising to me, the number one that was surprising to me was that Tox Brewing one. I mean, honestly, that one really stood out. And then of course, Furious, but I've had that before, and I know they do a good job. And another one that kind of surprised me was the Konkey Dong. I hate to say it. It was kind of surprising. The aroma was a little weird, but it was good, and so was the out of the pocket or such. That one for a quadruple was good.
Not to cut you off, let me ask you this question. What is weird, and I don't know if it doesn't kind of correspond to me, but do the ABVs correspond to the way the flavors tasted for you?
I don't know.
Because the higher ABV ones were a little bit edgy for their flavor. So, and the lower ABV ones were not, the flavor was a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think on that?
But really, none of them to me tasted as high, especially the last ones. They didn't taste high ABV to me.
Right. So,
so I
do you
don't know.
wonder how does that factor into what you're?
That's a good question, Jim. That's a very good question, because I don't know how do you answer that, because we do like higher ABVs, but still it was just, I don't know, they were all good.
Because I know the
examples.
listeners are probably thinking that too. Well, it's 12%, so is that going to scare me off because it's 12%?
Gotcha. Yeah. And that's one of the things my brother and I had talked about as well, was, you and I, my brother, BK, we're all really used to drinking these high octane beers. So when we taste a 12%, now Julie, you'd be a good person to answer this, because when Jim and I taste a high like this was 12%. To me, it didn't taste alcohol-y really at all.
I felt like that did not taste like 12%. Just trying a few of like your bourbon barrels.
Right.
Because sometimes they're like, whoa. Or, if it's like rum barrel or bourbon barrel or whatever, you can really taste the alcohol in those, where I felt like this, you couldn't taste the alcohol.
So that answer, to try to, give the listeners a little bit of a different take on, because all these, I think flavor wise, to me, they are all within a
band of each other.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yep.
And the only thing that really stood out was ABV. So we started low and worked our way high, but you really, in my opinion, didn't taste a difference in ABV as you went up. I don't know if I'm way off.
No, I agree 100% with you.
I agree with you. They're like, as we moved along, I was like, oh Lord, oh God, this is going to be so bad.
Right.
But it wasn't. It was like all of them were, if I was at a party and all they had was this, I could drink it.
Well, see, and this is another thing that we've talked about before, because IPAs are very polarizing. Mm-hmm. Hops are very polarizing.
Yeah.
You remember when we had
we've had some that were
at your house here on Oktoberfest that time?
Yep.
There were people that they wouldn't taste the beer because they thought it was hot. They just dumped it, and then it was terrible. And
I think the smell turns people off.
Right.
And I was one of those people as well. Like, I'd smell it and I'd be like, oh, nope. But now, I think as a few of these showed, they taste a lot better than what they smell. Mm-hmm. You might think like, oh, it's going to taste like grapefruit. Well, no, it doesn't.
Right.
So.
Exactly. And it's none of these, like I said, I was expecting them to be, the higher we went, the hoppier it was going to
be. Right.
That's
what
and it wasn't really that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the ABV went up, but for me, and I know it's the same with you, Jim, I never tasted one that was like, oh yeah, that's higher ABV.
It didn't affect the taste whatsoever.
Between the 5% one and the 12%, you could put blind taste at. I don't know if I could guess which one was higher.
Right.
Honestly.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure in case the listeners had a question about how they did.
Yeah, and that was perfect, because that's a good thing, because we're always trying to figure out how to tell new people what they should try. And honestly, they could try any of them, I think.
So I was just kind of, while you were talking, looking at Tox Brewing out there, because I was like, that would be a cool place. So I'm not sure if you're ready, Connecticut, for some Wisconsin folks to come, but I feel like a trip would be in order. They have quite a few beers. They do have quite a few IPAs, like an Imperial IPA, an American IPA, fruited sours, bitter session.
Okay.
Saison.
Saison. Sour fruited Berliner Weiss.
Berliner Weiss. Yep.
Bach single, wheat beer. They have a porter, imperial, a milk stout, and something called table beer.
So let me ask you this, honey.
Cream ale. Love cream ales.
So of today's beers, of these 6 that we had today, what was your top 1 or 2? And why?
Well, the Tox one for sure, and I don't know if my score reflects that, but the Furious IPA, and then is this the
Tox?
Yeah, those would be my 2 top ones.
And for somebody that doesn't like IPAs, why would you think those are your best ones?
They were just smooth. They didn't have that bitter grapefruit flavor, like you're chewing on a grapefruit rind. Some of them taste like that, and it's like, ugh, I was surprised that I actually did not mind any of them. There wasn't not one of them that I was like, ugh, like I usually am, but They were actually really good.
So for the craft beer drinker that's never tried an IPA, that thinks they hear the word IPA and don't like them, what should you tell them? Or what should we tell them?
Don't let the smell fool you. Because sometimes I feel like they all smell the same. Like they have that hoppy, grapefruity smell. But when you drink them, it's different. So don't let the smell turn you off of it. And don't let the IBUs turn you off either, because...
Because that's part of the IBUs is the aroma, right?
Yep.
So sometimes it's more, if it's dry hop, it's more of an aroma thing than a flavor thing.
Yes. Yep.
So,
and I'll just quickly add by saying, I think I'm kind of echoing what Julie said. The Arathon, I like that one. That was really good. That was my number 1. And my number 2 was the Furious. I think we're all pretty close to the same.
Yep.
The other ones, the ones that got higher in ABV, were not overly bad. I mean, you can look at our scores. Everybody was pretty much above a 2.5. So, I mean, pretty much we liked all the beers.
If we'd have done this podcast a year ago, Jim would have been like laying on the floor holding his stomach.
Oh, I might have been too.
But I mean, so I
We're
guess
trying to expand our horizons.
Your palates are expanding.
So, I mean, so that was, I think, a very good
Mm-hmm.
testing. I mean, very good. Thanks, Mike, for bringing those in.
Not a problem.
So this is just a little bit different on the end.
Yep.
I'll let you say what they are, because I mean, it was surprising.
We've had this style before. I think a couple times, haven't we?
Yep.
I think. So, now the quadruple was 12%. So we're looking at this
Stepping
one.
it down.
Well, I was going to say we were going to go higher, but I don't necessarily know if, what is it, 2.8%? Is that what they are?
What is that one? That one's...
well, this is by Schafferhofer. Hefeweizen beer, it says. Watermelon mint. Perfectly crafted, unique in taste. Now, so does it say on here?
It might say, I see what this one says now. Finally, I found it.
2.5% ABV by volume.
Ooh, that one's like way higher than this one.
Well, then what's this? Because there's another.
I think it says 4.2, doesn't it?
It's not more than 3.2 by weight. I don't know. All I know is it's watermelon mint.
Watermelon mint.
Watermelon mint.
By Schafferhofer.
What does it say? German quality.
German quality. There you
go. So, but who's ever had watermelon and mint together? We've had them separate.
We've had them separate for sure.
If you've had like a watermelon mojito, you might have had it.
Oh, she did pull the watermelon mojito card.
But I have not had that.
Julie gets 100 points. Jim gets a minus 10 million.
I think they had watermelon mojitos at the Cutter Pin.
So this looks watermelonish.
Oh my gosh, it's
red.
Pink,
it looks pinkish.
It's kind of red.
Looks like little pink champagne, kind of.
Oh, it's got a head.
Watermelon has always been that. Most of the beers we've had, you can't really taste it because it's such a delicate flavor.
Right.
They never get enough watermelon in it to taste it.
So they got something with it.
Not like, what was that?
Is that mint?
What was that horrible?
Oh, yeah, the aroma's mint.
Horrible beer that you had that was made out of not pumpkin. Squash.
Oh, squash. Squish beer.
Squash.
Yeah. Is that the one that had Heather?
Yeah, I was just going to say, or Heather.
Yeah, Heather was a naughty girl or something.
So,
boy, that is a strong mint aroma.
Yeah, it is.
And you can taste the watermelon and the mint in this.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
I mean, like you said, if they say it on the can, you should be able to taste it.
You could drink this in the pontoon boat
all day long.
That's not bad, is it?
Can we order this by the pallet? Or
it comes in a 4-pack only.
Oh, of course it does. This is really good.
I was like, on a hot summer day when you're like, it's 90 degrees and you just got done mowing the lawn or you're driving around your pontoon boat.
Is that good or what?
Boy, you get like Julie said, you get the watermelon and then you get that sweet mint.
But and they're not competing.
No,
they're not
no.
over the top. They're like perfectly balanced.
That's crazy.
Is
That
good?
is crazy. That is very interesting. Very good.
Yep.
And I mean, the hard part is
Great
it's
summer
low,
drink.
Yes.
low ABV. So how
Yes.
do you like score it? With a low score, but a good flavor.
Good.
What I
Or
was
low
saying,
ABV. with
I
it.
would mix it in a blender with some ice. That's
Oh
what I do
yeah,
with it.
yeah. Make almost like a
Mojito.
blended, yeah,
Like a blended drink.
Well, you
with
can
it.
drink a 4-pack of this all day long.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Boy, I don't get. Like a lot of those, you get like a heartburny kind of.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
get that
this.
at all.
I mean, how many
either.
beers have you ever had where you can actually taste the watermelon?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
It's not-
surprising because most of them you can't even pick up the watermelon flavor.
This is really good.
That is wild. Wow.
I'm kind of glad we added it. I mean, it kind of
Yeah.
puts a big
I know it's not
bow on it,
It
but
doesn't tie into the IPAs, but this is crazy because there's no way we'd have found
Right.
4 or 5 more of these.
no. And I just
at this
happened to be
point.
walking through the liquor store and happened to see this. I'm like, well, the other beers that they brewed were really good.
Yeah, that's wild. I like that. That's good.
Well, what do you got for a score?
Boy,
What's the highest we can give?
well, you give a 5. But if you give a 5, I'm going to run you out of here.
No, I'm not going to give a 5.
No, this is good. I mean, the fact that you could drink several of them, you get the watermelon, you get the mint.
It doesn't leave a bad finish.
I can
For a
do
rattler,
like
I'm doing a 3.5. Honestly, I'm sure that's probably the highest I've ever done a rattler. This is good.
I'm going to go 3.7.
Now, technically, it says it's a Hefeweizen beer, but it doesn't taste like Hefeweizen at all. It reminds me of a rattler.
On the can, it said Hofer Watermelon Mint is a refreshing blend of 50% sparkling unfiltered Hefeweizen beer and 50% watermelon drink with natural mint flavor.
Okay, so they mix it with the Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
I don't get that Hefeweizen, the grain or the wheat flavor at all.
No.
All I taste is the amazing watermelon into mint. And like you said, Jim, they don't compete at all.
I'm gonna stick with you, Mike. I'm gonna go 3.5. That was really good beer.
Yeah, that hot day, sitting in the garage, pull a nice cold one of them
I'm going to
out.
just pull this aside for myself later.
Well, Jim, we're not getting any more of that one.
All right. So what is the next one I found?
Well, the next one, we've had beer from this place
Too,
before
right?
as well, and it's Bitburger.
Bitburger.
And this is a rattler.
All right. So we know that one's a rattler. I don't know if this one was a rattler because it didn't say if it had soda or anything mixed with it.
Right. And now this brewery has been family owned since what year, Jim?
The 1700s?
Nope, that's minus 12,000.
Uh-oh.
You're in the
I getting
in the
a
lead now.
1817.
1817?
Yeah. And,
Before you were born.
and they micro print. Well, this is a malt beverage. It says.
All right.
But it's malt beverage because it's beer mixed with
Oh,
a
so-
juice
okay.
or something like that.
All right.
Now, does it say?
Yep, it had to.
I know you showed me. You pointed to something.
Now, is that
gave you the-
is that going to be the same as this? Because this one says, I think this is the one that says the ingredients may form a sediment on the bottom of the can. So that's where you got to kind of roll it around.
I've usually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because whoever gets the last of it gets the chunks.
Yeah.
So everybody gets the chunks.
So it had a little bit
Yeah,
of.
it had a little bit here.
Okay.
And it says malt beverage, natural flavors. Let's see, mixed beer drink made of what is that? Why do you give me the ones? Julie, you got better glasses because you give me those micro print ones, and it's
Mixed
like
beer drink made of 60% naturally cloudy lemonade and 40% beer. And it said Bitburger Premium Pills. Alcohol 1.9% by volume.
so we're really hitting the high
And
notes
then
on
it says Bitburger something in German. Bitburger Germany. Product
Now-
of Germany.
So this one is it's a lemonade.
A lemonade, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's crack this bad boy open. It's gonna have to really shine to compete with that watermelon mint. I should have poured you a little less because it's pretty high ABV. All right. So
Well, there's
here
a lot
we
ahead.
go. Yeah,
Smells
considering
like
it's
lemonade.
considering it's 1.9 or 1.7.
You could drink a 12-pack of
Oh,
this.
that smells like
I suppose,
lemonade.
yeah. It's not like the shanty though, is it?
No.
No.
No, not shanties.
No. Shandy to me smells like you sprayed lemon pledge in your mouth.
Wow.
This is like you could drink this all day long.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
Is that one all right?
The only bad part about these are you probably pay a little bit more
Right, but
for less. You know what I mean?
But the
still,
flavors really come through.
Oh yeah,
But they're both like big cans.
Yeah, they're pint cans.
But this is something I feel like you could drink all day and still be fine.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is not bad at all, is it?
No, I would say if you've never tried a Radler or I know it's a Hefeweizen, but to me it's a Radler.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never tried one, go out and find it because you're going to be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they're very good, and you could drink a boatload of them. So,
Yeah, I mean, this is really good flavor. I mean, the flavors really. I mean, what we always talk about the flavors coming through in your beer. Why don't they all, like these last two, really come through?
I don't know. I agree with you though, because that is crazy. Boy, between the two.
Which one would you like?
I think I still am going to stick with the watermelon mint a little bit more than this one. But if you said I'm out of that one, would you take this? I'll be, oh yeah, I'll take this one. I think for me this one's a 3.4. It's just one step down is all, and because I really like that mint flavor on that first one. Yeah, I think that one really just the separation of the watermelon and the mint flavor really kind of blew me away. This is a very good one too, though as well. I like it.
So, Julie, what are you thinking?
I will go like a 3.6.
You like the watermelon better too?
I do. I just think the flavors are. And normally, I'm not a huge mint liker in drinks, but actually, I do like it. Very good. This lemonade one though, that's good too. It is great.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not poo-pooing it at all.
No,
it's still very good. But between the two, I do like that watermelon mint combination. Just really works.
Lawn mowing beer.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna go with 3.6 too. This was my favorite of the day, actually.
Wow. There you go.
See, I put the bowl right on top.
It is good.
Yeah, they're really good. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. So yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said, we started off trying a bunch of IPAs, kind of ranging in style.
Yep.
And proved to a non-IPA drinker that they're not that bad.
Right.
No,
they are not that bad.
I will say there's other ones out there that aren't that good. Mm-hmm. But and like I said, the only one I had ever had before was that Furious. So I didn't know.
Right.
And they were pleasantly surprising.
Yes.
The Radler and the other one, crazy good.
Yep.
Flavor-wise, unbelievable. You could drink a bunch of them.
Yes.
It was awesome. That was a good way to top it off.
Yes.
Yep.
So cool. Well, Julie, thank you so much for sitting in with us on this.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Jim, I was totally expecting more of a type of thing, and it just didn't happen. So I don't know. So, kind of go to the drawing board. I am proud, though, because you're just becoming a real craft beer guy.
Yeah, and I'm coming up with better questions, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
it. That's it, exactly. So awesome. Well, cool. Good to have you back. I'm glad that you got your planning done and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully we'll be doing a bunch more of these in the weeks to come.
Yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Go out, grab. If you've never had a quadruple, go find one. If you haven't had a triple, whatever, just try it.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Always try it. If you have a local brewery that makes them, try those, because then if it's local, the money stays local.
Yes.
And that's a big thing in this day and age. So awesome. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, like we always say, we hope your campfire's always warm.
And your beers are always cold.
See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.